Let's talk about this Dallas dysfunction and the Mark Cuban media mafia. Boy, let me tell you, Mark Cuban went on one of the most amazing press runs that anybody's ever gone on without doing an interview that I've seen. So, GM gets let go. And boy, I wish I had the audio of Colin Cowherd talking about, yeah, you just got to let the GM go because you took Dennis Smith Jr. instead of what's his name? Instead of Donovan Mitchell. In a vacuum, sure. Then he's like, you have Donovan Mitchell and Luka Doncic together, and boom. Well, do you get Luka Doncic if you have Donovan Mitchell that year? Just a question. Dennis Smith Jr. didn't work, but Dennis Smith Jr. got flipped into Kristaps Porzingis and Tim Hardaway Jr. Was Kristaps a letdown? Yes. Absolutely. But is Tim Hardaway Jr. probably your second best, your second most reliable player on your team? Yes. I'll take it. Luka didn't like that. But you have Haralabob, a very successful gambler who has no people skills in Mark Cuban's ear running things. And one of the things about the analytics community is they're nerds, they're socially awkward. They don't have the best people skills. They live off of data. But a lot of athletes aren't that. They're peoples. They're social. They're people. And when you have people who thrive off relationships, who thrive off the energy of others, and then you have somebody else stepping into the fold who doesn't do that, it creates a problem. And then we get rid of the coach, Rick Carlisle. Now, I've asked, how well does Rick Carlisle coach? Because after 2011, he did not get out of the first round of the playoffs. I'm not mad at the move. If it's going to keep Luka happy, sure, you do what you have to do. But what my issue is that we're going to act like Dallas is not a dysfunctional organization. If Luka is so great and Dallas is such a great organization, why can't they get out of the first round? Something has to be something, because Dallas hasn't signed a marquee free agent since DeAndre Jordan signed or agreed to sign when they walked out the door on him. Oh, yeah, they didn't sign him. So I don't remember. When has Dallas signed somebody that we cared about? Nobody wants to go there. And I hear some of it is that people don't want to live in Texas, but folks sure love Houston. Dak and Zeke love Dallas. So I look at it and I blame it on the Mavericks. You had the nasty allegations come out a few years back. Mark Cuban had no idea, but he's a hands-on owner. How you hands-on, but you don't know your folks got hands-on their employees? Huh? How you hands-on, but you ain't know they hands-on? So, but because Mark Cuban is so successful, he's so likable, he's so available that he doesn't get the proper criticism for his faults. And you have the Mark Cuban media mafia coming out defending him, saying that, oh, yes, he had to get rid of Donnie Nelson. He had to let go of Rick Carlisle. Haralabob knows what he's talking about, but he still hasn't got out of the first round. I get Haralabob has won millions of dollars in gambling, but here's the thing. And I tell y'all this all the time. When you look at the analytical stuff, it works over long spans of time. But when you're talking about a 7-game series, when I'm thinking about you, when I'm game planning for you, when I'm watching film just for you, Nobody else, just for you. Things change. You can't look at the trends because the trends may mean something, but they don't mean everything. And I just don't know, man. I just wonder why. I won't say why. Because here we go. Because we got such great reporting from the Athletic coming out of the organization. People who are not part of the Mark Cuban media mafia. They let us know what's going on in there for real, for real. They let us know of the dissension in the organization. Understand these pieces come out for a reason. It is somebody trying to put a narrative out. Now, that narrative got Donnie Nelson fired, and that got, Rick Carlisle saying, hey, bro, salute, I'm out. Can't do this no more. That's what came of that. But if the organization is all bells and whistles, there's no need for that piece. It doesn't matter who's right and who's wrong or what's right and what's wrong. If the piece comes out, if the piece is necessary, there's smoke in the city. Everybody ain't living their life in a Dallas paradise because there is no paradise in Dallas right now for the Mavericks. Luka's not happy. And all I'm saying is, Mark Cuban, don't waste Luka like you did Dirk, because you might not get so lucky. You make sure you get the right people around you and around him so that you can try to get out of the first round. Because Ice Trey done did it. How crazy would it be if we look back in 10, 15 years and the Hawks ended up winning that trade? Like they gained assets and they end up getting the better player, or excuse me, the more productive player, the more successful player. Because y'all will never say that Luka or Trey is better than Luka. Y'all always say, well, Luka had this break for him. He played in the East, this, that, and the third. So-and-so got hurt. And yeah, I know. There's no way that Trey could be better than Luka because Luka is in Dallas and Trey's all the way in Atlanta. And instead of that being a 10-hour trip, y'all would tell me it would take 3 days for Trey to get to Dallas. But him know better.